Kylian Mbappe, hailed as the boy wonder, destined to lead Real Madrid into a golden era. But a few months into his Bernabeu adventure, we're left wondering, did he sign up for the sequel to a football soap opera? What happened to this unstoppable force? After all the drama and build-up, Kylian Mbappe finally made his dream move to Bernabeu. The future looked bright. But is it just me, or does it feel like we're witnessing the start of a very long and awkward honeymoon phase? Let's break it all down. The struggles, the tactical missteps, and the burning question. Is Mbappe just in a rough patch, or is this hype train running out of steam? Let's be honest here. When Kylian Mbappe stayed at PSG, despite every transfer rumor pointing to a dramatic move, elsewhere, he was supposed to slot in like the final puzzle piece in a masterpiece. The problem? Well, it's starting to look like someone handed him the wrong instruction manual. Let's talk about his infamous offside runs, more frequent than Vinicius Jr.'s Instagram posts. In the Champions League against Napoli, he was flagged 3 times in one half. At this rate, he's breaking offside records, not goal-scoring ones. And the much-anticipated chemistry with Vinicius Jr., it feels less like Messi, Neymar, and more like 2 kids fighting over the TV remote. And let's talk chemistry, or the lack thereof. Remember when we all fantasized about Mbappe's linking up with Vinicius Jr. to form the most dangerous duo in the world of football? Picture Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., 2 of the planet's most electrifying talents in one attack. What could go wrong? Well, turns out quite a bit. Watching them play together sometimes feels like witnessing 2 kids bicker over the last slice of pizza. Neither ends up satisfied. Vinicius wants his trademark dribbles, Mbappe wants to be the main man, and somehow the ball ends up with the opposition. Sure, he's trying to adapt, but have you ever seen someone overthink their next move so much that it looks like they're deciding between a shot or a pass in slow motion? Mbappe's instincts, usually razor sharp, seem caught in a loop. Fans expected fireworks, but instead they're getting an awkward sparkler that fizzles out halfway. It's not all bad though. He's still Kylian Mbappe, and flashes of brilliance are inevitable. But right now, let's just say that the project has hit a few speed bumps. Adaptation takes time, but for a player of his caliber, patience is wearing thinner than a pair of last season's boots. But if you think that's the full story, wait until you hear about how he's turning offsides into an art form, and, well, not the good kind. Let's talk about Mbappe's favorite stat this season: offsides. Seriously, his offside tally so far in the 2024-25 season could probably fill its own highlight reel. Forget the golden boot. This guy might be chasing the golden flag for the most times caught offside. Since the start of this La Liga season, he's been flagged offside a jaw-dropping 17 times. That's not just the most in Spain, it's the highest across all of Europe's top 5 leagues. Think about that for a second. Out of all the elite players across England, Italy, Germany, France, and Spain, he's leading this unusual stat. Whether it's a case of pushing the defensive line too far or a sign of his eagerness to make those killer runs, it's a record that's turning heads for all the wrong reasons. And then there's the underwhelming impact in big matches. In his much anticipated La Liga debut, Mbappe struggled to make a significant impact. He appeared isolated and, well, let's just say out of sync with his new teammates, leading to a 1-1 draw. Another particularly challenging moment came during a match against Athletic Bilbao, where Mbappe missed a crucial penalty. This miss contributed to Real Madrid's 2-1 defeat and marked his second penalty miss in a short span, raising questions about his confidence in high-pressure situations. For someone heralded as their heir to Messi and Ronaldo, this season feels like a waiting game for the brilliance to show up more often. So is this just a rough patch, or is this the point where we admit that Mbappe's move to Real Madrid is, well, maybe not as glorious as we thought? I mean, the guy was supposed to be a godsend. Instead, we've got a work in progress project, not quite the superhero we were promised. And I mean, it's a fair question, isn't it? Mbappe was meant to be the next generational icon, the one to fill the void left by Messi and Ronaldo. Instead, what we've seen this season feels like a player struggling to adapt to the immense weight of expectation. Sure, every player has their off days, but with Mbappe, the stakes are always higher. Right now, fans aren't getting the fearless forward who tore through defenses at the World Cup. They're seeing a player who's looking more mortal than godlike, if you will, a reality that's hard to swallow. It's not all Mbappe's fault. We gotta give him credit. Madrid's tactical setup hasn't exactly been Mbappe friendly. With midfielders like Bellingham and Camavinga pulling the strings, you'd expect through balls galore. Instead, Mbappe is often left stranded between roles, neither a true striker nor a wide forward. The Ferrari isn't broken, it's just stuck in traffic. You'd expect better planning for a club with Real Madrid's pedigree. Their midfield, packed with talent like Jude Bellingham and Eduardo Camavinga, doesn't seem to have the instructions on how to unlock Mbappe's pace and precision. Instead of playing to his strengths, quick counters and incisive through balls, Madrid seems stuck in a tactical purgatory where Mbappe is neither a true winger nor a central striker. And the result? A player caught between roles, looking as unsure as a tourist trying to read a subway map. And let's not forget the Vinicius Jr. dynamic. Two supremely talented players who were supposed to complement each other have ended up stepping on each other's toes. It's like Madrid accidentally ordered two main courses instead of a main and a side. They're great individually, but together it's an overcrowded plate. But hey, let's not lose hope just yet. Mbappe is far too talented to stay in a slump forever. If he can find his way out of this football maze, we'll be back to seeing Mbappe we all know and all love. His blistering speed, his dazzling skill, and come on, clinical finishing are all still there. It's just about putting the pieces together. The real question is, when will it happen? Or worse, will it happen? It's easy to chalk this season up to an adjustment period, but how long does the "I'm adjusting" excuse really hold? Suppose he can figure out his role, find the right chemistry with Vinicius, and work with Madrid's evolving system. Well, in that case, there's every chance he'll remind the world why he's considered a generational talent. History tells us that even great players take time to adjust. Just ask Luka Modric, who was once labeled as a flop before becoming a Madrid legend. Mbappe's talent is undeniable. The question is whether Real Madrid can give him the tactical framework and the time to thrive. In the end, Mbappe's dream move to Madrid isn't exactly living up to the hype. It's like buying the most, expensive steak only to realize you're chewing on a tough piece of rubber. Let's hope he can turn things around before we all start questioning if Madrid really made the right call. Because, one thing's for sure, Mbappe can bounce back. He's too talented not to. The only question is whether it'll happen soon enough to salvage this season, or if we'll be left waiting, hoping, and debating. So, what do you think? Is Mbappe in a slump, or are we witnessing cracks in his golden boy legacy? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Otherwise, I might start doing match reviews of referee decisions instead.